Hey gang, what's up? Welcome back here to another edition of Intuitive Angling, and really appreciate you guys checking today's video out. I think you're really going to like today's video because I think it's sort of going to be make for some good commentary, good conversation, and some good maybe debate back and forth. We're going to be talking about whether you should scent a lure, put scent on or add scent to a lure, or whether you should have no scent, to descent a lure and have no scent whatsoever on it, which is going to be better to the fish as far as getting bites. So I think it's going to be interesting here. So real quick, guys, before we get started here, I know a lot of people out there are interested in giving back to the channel and supporting the channel. One of the best ways you can do that, guys, is to check out our View Product Shopping tab when the video comes on. And sometimes throughout the video at the bottom left of the screen, you'll see a little thing that says View Products. And then also you'll see some products listed in the shopping tab right below the video when it starts. Those 30 products we put in there every day, usually some type of fishing equipment, tackle rods and reels. And if you guys are looking to buy some, you can order them right through that link. Channel gets a small percentage of the proceeds if you do buy something there. So it's a good way to support the channel if you're inclined to do so. Much appreciated. Okay, guys, I have always scent, when it comes to scent on lures, I've always been fascinated by it because my sister tells a story all the time back when I was in high school. When she'd have a slumber party over with her girlfriends over there, I'd have all my, plastic worms laid out like on the kitchen table at my mom and dad's house. And I would tell them about, do not touch those things because I don't want to get human scent on these worms. I was really into that. And they'd come through there and they'd grab a handful of worms and rub it all over themselves and, try to make me mad getting human scent on it. So this has been, 45 years ago. So I have been very aware of scent on lures for a long time. And then I was sponsored by the old Fish Formula, a scent company back in the early 90s. And I've always used different type of scents. I've experimented with them. I've used a ton of them out there. But the question remains, and even in my own mind a little bit, and we'll talk about this, is it better to add scent as an attractant to a lure or just to have no scent and do everything you can to descent the lure? So we'll get into that a little bit. Now, one of the things about this is I don't think that you can really go wrong either way. I think that from my experience in bass fishing, from my observations, and this is an opinion that I've formed over the past 40 or 50 years bass fishing based upon my own experiences and experimenting heavily trying to do that, either neutralize scent or add scent. I think there is more to that than what most people realize as far as scent goes. Now, let me give you guys a good example as sort of a baseline, then we'll talk a little bit about more. Right now at Table Rock Lake, it's tough to catch fish down there. It's tough. August and September are always tough months. A lot of the fish are suspended down there. And you can go down there and fish for these suspended fish off the end of deep boat docks or over the top of submerged timber. And you may see them on your electronics, like with drop shots and stuff, and you may never catch one. But all the guides down there, most of the guides at Table Rock Lake in the summertime fish with live night crawlers, and those guys rip them. They catch big bags of fish every single day out there. They catch walleye, they catch catfish, they catch big spotted bass. They can pull up on an area where you can see fish on your electronics and catch every single one of them down there. Now, if you've ever hooked a night crawler onto a hook and fished with a night crawler, it doesn't look as good as if you put like a little 4-inch worm or some type of shad-shaped worm or some type of little swim bait on there. When you're talking about getting action and manipulating that bait, or even like a hover rig setup, the bait looks so much better if it's artificial because you've got different type of profiles and colors. You got realistic minnow configurations. You've got soft salt impregnated worms that have a tremendous amount of action. And a lot of times a night crawler, it doesn't do nothing. It just looks like a crooked, stiff worm down there with no action whatsoever. It's not like they're wiggling everywhere. They don't. I mean, most of them you have to ice them in the summertime or they're going to die and they get all slimy. So they're pretty lethargic and they don't do anything, yet the bass gobble them up. And so from that standpoint, the only reason that bass gobble up night crawlers and you can't hardly catch them on artificials is scent. I don't think that we give bass credit enough to how keen their olfactory senses are. I think that it is on another level. I don't really understand how it works. I've seen studies, I've read studies about it. I don't even think those people know, because they can't get inside of a bass and actually determine what they can smell, or what they can, how far they can pick it up away, or how big of a factor it has on them biting a lure. But guys, I can tell you, as sure as the sun comes up every morning, bass are very keen and very aware of scent. The problem you have with that is nobody has created a scent that can mimic like what a night crawler is, or even a crawdad, because they do the same thing, guys, down there. They'll put a live crawdad on a drop shot hook or something and put it down there and catch fish right and left on it, even though there's tons of other crawdad baits that are identical to a live crawdad, and you can't hardly get a bite on them under tough conditions, but you put your live one down there and they'll just gobble it up. Again, it's got to be some type of a scent. I don't even know if it's possible for us to understand what that scent is or how you can duplicate it, because it's almost like, even if you try to match the scent of a night crawler or a shad or a crawdad or something like that, I think that there's something different in duplicating that scent if that creature is dead versus if it's alive. I think there's got to be something in the molecular makeup of it that goes well beyond our comprehension. But nevertheless, it does, it is a reality that you can't deny. And even though that there's a bunch of different scents out there on the market, nobody has picked up on this scent that you can put on your lure and it becomes a night crawler or it becomes a crawdad. We have not figured out how to do that. I don't know if it's even possible to do that. But what I do think is, if you can mask some type of a foreign scent. Now, bass doesn't know what a human smells like. So people say that you rub stuff on your hands and so bass can pick that up. They don't know what a human smells like, but they do know what is not real. And if they get close to a bait and they smell plastic, like on a plastic worm, or if they smell a plastic chunk on this, or if they smell, some rubber on a jig, they know that that is not food. So therefore, on a lot of different lure categories, I don't think that the fish ever bite them because they think they're real. I think they bite them out of a reaction strike and out of curiosity and competition and anger. I just don't think that they bite any lure out there because they're hungry most of the time. It's a mistake if they do, but when you're fishing with live bait like minnows and live shad and crawdads and worms, they are biting that to eat it because they know that's something within their food chain. That's part of the biological makeup of the lake, and on a intuitive, instinctual level, they know that's edible out there. So anyway, one of the things I think about that is I think the benefit in scent is to cover up foreign smells. Now, if you can I don't even know what the scent, as far as, if the scent actually provides any attractant to get the fish to bite, but I do think at times it can cover up the smell of plastic or metal or sweat or something that may be a negative strike deterrent to a fish. Ultimately, it's a mystery. Nobody really knows nobody has figured it out. It's it's sort of one of the frontiers that we've dabbled in for a long time, but nobody's hit it on the head. And I'm glad they haven't, because guys, we do not need to have some type of a magical, potion that you can put on a lure to make fish bite it. The same way we don't need live scope or forward facing sonar. We have got to have things that keep us from catching too many fish or keep us from becoming too good at catching fish for the future of the sustainability of our fisheries. So I hope nobody comes out with it. I hope I hope there's never some scientist that develops some type of a scent that is just a magical strike attractor to fish. I think it would probably be one of the worst things that ever happened to fishing. So anyway, to get back to the question, should you scent or descent your lure? it doesn't hurt to add scent. I think if anything, it helps descent it, it helps mask some scent. I'm not telling you it's going to help you get more bites, but I think it can help you, get bites from fish that would be turned off otherwise under certain scenarios there. So anyway, let me know what you guys think. It's my 2 cents worth, and we'll talk later.